Hey guys, so for anyone who doesn't know, I just watched Hazbin Hotel not too long ago. I absolutely love the show. I'm not a big fan of musicals, but I love the show. I mean, the two musical, like two songs per episode, does seem kind of excessive considering that each episode's only like what 20 something minutes, like 22 minutes, but they're good songs. I mean, they're all incredibly well written. The animation is beautiful. They're bright. They're vibrant. Um, Still not much of a musical person, but I really like the show so far. And I saw this doesn't have anything to do with it kind of does, but I can't remember if it was Facebook or Twitter. I saw this, because Hazbin Hotel, the whole concept is rehabilitating sinners. They've got the hotel, and she tries to like redeem sinners so they can go to heaven, right? And it's like, okay, well, what about other people? Let's not just stick to just the Hazbin Hotel universe. What about other people? And I saw one of them being William Afton, purple guy, Springtrap. What if William Afton ended up in hell, which we know he did, and he ended up at the hotel somehow? Could he be redeemed? So that kind of got me thinking about who else in movies or games or any kind of media who is just foul and just evil to the core. Who could go there and be redeemed? Honestly, one of the first after William Afton, the next one on my mind was Frieza. I don't know why. There's no redeeming the guy, but I think I could see him like fake redemption just to get out. But then again, I don't think there'd be a way to fake redemption because, you know, but could the galactic tyrant, the self-proclaimed ruler of the universe, could he be redeemed? I mean, in Super, we kind of see a shift in his character. He's still very evil, but it's like with him and Goku, they have like this very weird sibling thing going on. Like it's different than him and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta's relationship, but Frieza and Goku have like this very weird friendship that you know it's weird. But while I was looking for the post that I saw, I just was typing in, Hazbin Hotel William Afton, hoping that I could find it. But then I came across this. Would Alistair and William Afton get along? And I agree, everything here. No, no, they wouldn't at all. So I'll read this and okay. So as you can tell by the title, I'm asking whether or not you think the radio demon would be all buddy buddy with the purple guy from Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, if you ask me, I say the answer is no. And William Afton, Alistair and William Afton would hate each other's guts. Now, you're probably going to ask, you're going to say, but they're both serial killers. Shouldn't they get along swimmingly? No. So he says, remember, Alistair has qualms with who he kills, as in he's very selective. Think of him like Dexter. Dexter just doesn't kill willy nilly. He kills people he deems as bad and evil and stuff like that. Um, you don't see people like that going after the weak and innocent. You don't see them going after children. You see them going after, you know, other murderers, abusers, people who possess, underage material and things like that to children. He goes after those people. Alistair is kind of the same way. Um, Alistair has qualms on who he kills, as we see in the Day in the Afterlife comic. Alistair went out of his way to protect a smaller sheep demon from the larger butcher, which I've never read the comic, but I should. This means that Alistair does not kill those who are weaker or defenseless, though not confirmed. It seems that Alistair only goes after people who are equal to him, those who have a chance of a fighting chance. William Afton kills children, only children, small children. His youngest victim was 3 years old, which is not really true because I think well, then again, he's not the one killing the security guards. It's the animatronics killing, but it's kind of because of him. So he's indirectly, it's kind of like Saw, where like John Kramer doesn't physically kill anyone, he doesn't kill anyone himself, but his actions lead to other people getting killed. So William Afton killing these kids, and their bodies are, their spirits are now in these suits, and they're going around killing people. He is directly responsible for that. So, but as in William Afton physically, yeah, he goes after kids, which is fucking disgusting. His youngest victim being 3. So yeah, Alistair would rip William Afton to shreds if they met. And Alistair found out what Afton did. Also, apparently, whenever I always see these things about Viv saying things about Alistair, stated that Alistair does not kill children. So I'm sure Alistair would want to make William Afton suffer. So I heard that like Alistair has like this weird moral code. He gets along well with women, as you can see with Vaggie and Charlie, Nifty. Rosie has an awesome relationship with Rosie. Um, Mimsy, I mean, the guy walks up to her and just, openly gives her a hug. No being forced, no nothing. They knew each other when they were alive. They're well, they say friends. Um, so he does get along better with women. Um, but what if William Afton ended up meeting Alistair? What happens if William Afton ended up in the Hazbin Hotel? Could he be redeemed? Um, and that goes for any other person that I want. I mean, I want to hear what you guys think about that. Who's someone you would love to see? Possibly, obviously it's not going to happen, but someone in that situation who could possibly get redeemed, no matter how evil they are. Do you think they could get redeemed, and why or why not? Again, I said Frieza. Even though he doesn't like, he always says, "Oh, I'm not going to change my ways." In Super, we did kind of see a shift in his character. Um, I mean, probably only a temporary thing. But again, when he's with Goku, he has like this totally different demeanor. He's still the complete jerk off racist tyrant that he is, calling them monkeys and all that. But again, him and Goku have like this weird relationship that, you know, even him and Vegeta don't have. So they went from two people trying to kill each other to like passing like friendly little punches to make each other cough up blood, and it's like, oops, my hand slipped. It's like, haha, looks like my hand slipped too. It's just a weird relationship. Seek serious counseling. Um, so another person. I mean, most of the things like people think of like Cell. Could he survive and be redeemed? Actually, I think there are some comics, some manga, like fan mangas. I think there's one. I can't remember who it's by, but it's basically if Cell was good, if Cell had become one of the good guys, and it kind of explains a way on how he, in the beginning he becomes like how he becomes good and how it affects the story as a whole, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's believable for the most part. I mean, I could see it as like a what if alternate timeline, maybe like in Dragon Ball Heroes or something, because that's just complete fan service. Um, but let's see, William Afton. No, he's too set in his ways. I don't think this man who basically gets pleasure out of killing children would ever be able to redeem himself. He'd be stuck in that hotel. He'd be stuck. He can't do it. He cares too. He's too self-centered. He's too narcissistic. He's too egotistical. He only cares about himself. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care who he has to kill. He doesn't care who he has to step on, whose life he has to ruin. Because all he cares about is himself and his experiment with the remnant and eternal life. With I always come back, and then you have glitch trap, and then you this, and he all he cares is about is eternal life, essentially. Um, when he started out, it's like, oh, his daughter was killed, and technically, I mean, it was kind of his fault. He built Baby that way, but he told his daughter not to go near Baby. She did it anyway. So again, he was indirectly, he didn't kill his daughter himself, but his daughter's death was a result of what he did. Um, but William Afton, I don't think he could be. Honestly, Frieza has a better chance of being redeemed. How sad is that? Think of other horror movies. I'm sure people would go immediately to like the Freddy Kruegers and Jason's. Could Freddy be redeemed? Honestly, I think it would come down to Alistair. Imagine Alistair meeting Freddy. Same thing. The fact of who Freddy goes after, that would not sit well with the radio demon. Um Now Jason is weird because he kills people who smoke, who do drugs and underage drinking, premarital sex, all these, you know, values. Um or at least he kind of started. That's how he's kind of portrayed. Like, oh, he doesn't kill people unless they, do one of those things. Um like, oh, the virgin always survives because Jason doesn't kill virgins, or he doesn't kill people who, he doesn't kill them if they don't smoke or don't drink or whatever. Um, any other? Let's see, other media. And then game wise, it's like, could Ganondorf? Could Ganondorf go to the Hazbin Hotel and be redeemed? Not like Ganondorf under the influence of Demise's curse that makes him evil and drives him towards power. An uncorrupt, regular Gerudo king. Could he be redeemed? Although I think if it was just a regular Ganondorf who wasn't under the influence of Demise's curse, I don't think he would be still that. I don't think he would be down that path that he always goes down. Um, but because of Demise's curse having that such an influence on him, it's in his blood essentially. But if it's a non-curse suffering Ganondorf, could he be redeemed? I think he could. Hell, I've made the argument that Ganondorf would be a great king. I think he could rule Hyrule and they would be extremely prosperous. Because, like, if you're a neighboring country, why would you want to fuck with the country that has the man in power who has a Triforce of power? No army could stand against the guy. Your country would be the safest place on the planet. Um, so Ganondorf, I think he could be redeemed. Um, let's see. And I'm just kind of like thinking from like anime that I watch and stuff like that, like light. Yes, I am Kira. Light. Could he be redeemed? Possibly. I think he would kind of regret. Well, not regret, but kind of feel bad at the path he went down. The feel bad that he kind of lost his way. Starting off with an actual good purpose and wanting to make the world better, but then going about it the wrong way. I think Light could be redeemed. Um, I'm thinking of like Yu Yu Hakusho. All the villains, they're really not villains. Like Toguro could be redeemed. Sensui could be redeemed. Um, the Three Kings, they could, like, pretty much every villain that Yusuke fights can be redeemed. Hell, I think even Rando in the very beginning could be redeemed. Just because the villains aren't really villains. They're portrayed as villains, but they're so well written, and their backstories, like Toguro is probably one of the best written characters in any anime. And he's such a tragic character. So yeah, I could see him being redeemed easily. Um, because even when they show Toguro for the first time, they portray him as this very, he's a giant. He's a big guy. He's like what, 8, 10 feet tall, but he has a very, very soft spoken, despite having that deep voice. Um, he kind of outright tells Yukina to just kind of learn how to cry, and it'll just be a lot easier, so he doesn't have to keep hurting her. After he kills Helen, he apologizes to her, for causing such a mess and saying that 20% of his power would have been a much cleaner kill, and that he asks for forgiveness from this creature. Like, he kills her, just rips her in half, and he apologizes because he just felt dirty about it. Um, So yeah, he can easily be redeemed. Um, who else? I had the idea of Bowser, but Bowser's not really a bad guy. He's really not. He's portrayed as the villain, but again, he's a lovable goofball essentially. He's a complete simp for Peach. And him attacking is just major, like just minor inconveniences. He's not really that much of a threat. I mean, he could be, but it's like, oh, I've taken the princess again. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Oh, same thing we do every night, Pinky. Um, Now I'm thinking of like maybe people from Breaking Bad, because you got a lot of completely rotten to the core kind of characters there. Um, like Uncle Jack, in his group, they're all fucking racist Nazis and stuff like that. Could they be redeemed? Tuco, could he be redeemed? That guy was fucking insane. Could he be redeemed? Uh, um, yeah. Trying to think what other. Um, and then there's some characters that aren't really evil, but they like I would say kind of like the Jack Sparrow kind of characters. Jack Sparrow is no way evil, but being a pirate, he does things that are not particularly savory to get what he wants. But at the end of the day, he is a good guy, but maybe he'll be seen as a sinner, being a sinner, considering he probably did indulge in sin like behavior. Obviously, he would be sent to hell. Could he be redeemed? I think so. Seeing a redeemed Jack would be really cool. Um, and in that aspect, Barbosa, even though he comes across as evil when we first meet him, but he actually has a soft heart, and we see him when he finally sees his daughter again. He clearly cares about his daughter, at least at that moment. It's almost like I've never stopped thinking about you kind of thing. Um, Barbosa, yeah, I think Barbosa could be redeemed. Um, Davy Jones. Ooh, another one, Voldemort. What if Voldemort ended up in the Hazbin Hotel? And not like a Voldemort where he's crazy, super powerful. He's basically been knocked down a few pegs and he's kind of starting at the bottom like everyone else. He's still powerful like any other overlord, but he's not. Let's just say that Alistair is like the pinnacle of strength. He is well below Alistair. Um, could he be redeemed? Um, Salazar Slytherin, same thing, evil to the core. Could he be redeemed? But yeah, 18 minutes, jeez. But yeah, let me know. I would love to hear some discussions about people who you think can be redeemed and if they can't and why not and just a bunch of creative ideas. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.